beautiful singer and actress Lisa Stansfield is here. Very good morning to you.
Hi.
Lovely to see you.
You
and
too.
we're talking about Northern Soul. It was kind of more of a religion than a music
really
fad, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like going to church.
Yeah.
It really was.
And
Clothes,
what a
the
church.
dancing, and what a church.
Nah.
We'll be talking about the film in just a few moments. Before we have a word about that, Andy's got the details of this week's competition. Yes, we've just seen lovely Lisa Stansfield. She's a recording artist, she's an actress. Her latest role takes her to the heart of the Northern Soul music scene.
I'm going to talk to her in just a moment. First, though, if you lived through the 70s, you might remember this. And if you didn't, you'll wish you had. More of a religion than a fad, Northern Soul was an underground music and dance scene which exploded across Britain in the 1970s. It started in the northern towns of Blackpool, Wigan and Manchester, a 70s youth culture influenced by the music of Black America in the 1960s. Not mainstream hits, but tracks which never made the charts. The rise of Northern Soul is reflected in a new film release which tells the story of two teenagers who discover their love of this new music scene.
Becoming a weirdo. A recluse at his age.
Recluse is a bit of a strong word, isn't it?
You stay out of this, Dad. I want to hold my head up in this town.
This was a cultural movement formed when Britain was marred by strikes and football violence. There was economic uncertainty, but for the Northern Soul movement, the only sure thing was the music. Whoa! And Lisa Stansfield joins us now. Very good morning to you. Were you a massive fan?
Well, it was just a part of what, you know, when you were sort of... I was 12, 13 and I'd go to like discos at the local civic hall and it would all be Northern Soul.
Was it? It wasn't like that in South London.
No, was there a big sort of...
It was just a massive Northern thing.
In the film, there's sort of a bit of a clash initially between chart music and then Northern Soul, because as Susanna said in the piece, it wasn't about the charts, was it? It was about, this was music that was much more underground.
Anything to do with the charts. It was like the complete polar opposite of that. You know, it's like having something that was just yours and special, and nobody else could share it, you know.
And the film tracks all of that through these two kind of extraordinary young actors and how they kind of get sucked into the whole scene. There was something very special about the music because Motown was massive at that point, but it's not Motown music. It's the tracks that Motown wouldn't have put out. It's the rough, gritty
it's sort
stuff.
of similar, but
And there was
grittier.
And there was something, wasn't there, about the music that trying to track down that one record.
Oh yeah, they would like these people would send away to America, you know, and they'd make a phone call. They'd like sort of spend the money on the phone bill and all this sort of thing, and they would order like 100 records, and you didn't have any idea what was going to be in that box. You might have one record that is just an incredible piece of music.
And that would be the magic
they all did it.
The thing that I watched, you know, the music aside, is the style, it's the clothes, and it's the dancing as well. The dancing is just extraordinary. And to watch all the young actors, and they all had to learn to do this dancing. How did they go about it?
Yeah, well, it was the older generation who'd been to Wigan Casino and all that sort of thing. And they literally, for 4 or 5 years, they taught all these young kids how to dance.
So it was 4 or 5 years in the making, this film.
And the costumes, I think they would go into Oxfam and charity shops for like maybe 5, 6, 7 years to get all the costumes together.
The detail is incredible. That's why, you know, as Susanna said, it was like a religion. You know, when you're thinking to make a film, which you know we think is quite disposable these days, that they trained all the actors to dance for 4 or 5 years. They spent 4 or 5 years tracking down. For the lady who wrote it, this has absolutely been a passion, isn't it?
Oh yeah, she's wanted to do it all her life, really.
And how is your Northern Soul dancing?
Terrible. Absolutely, I'd rather play the mum do the dancing.
Which is what you do beautifully, but there is something specific about that dancing, isn't there? There's something unique about it.
And it's such a style. I just can't get it down at all. You said you can't do it
I can't do it. I'm just trying to. And it's going to be... It was going to have a limited release, but due to kind of public popularity in advance of the release, this is going to be much more widely available to people.
They thought it was going to be sort of a very limited release, and it's turned out now that it's sort of gone viral, and it's been released in over like 140 cinemas.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So hopefully everyone around the country will get to enjoy it, as we did.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The music,
Love it.
the dancing, the look, everything. It's thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
Lisa, thanks so much for talking to
Oh, thank you.
Lovely to see you.
It's lovely spotting all the people in it, actually.
Yeah, as
So you've
well.
got those Ricky Tomlinson, all those Ashley
Steve
Taylor
Coogan,
Quite a
Dawson.
few cameos and stuff.
Steve
yeah.
Coogan is the horrible teacher. It's just brilliant.
he's
Horrible but hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. With
Lisa,
his
great
hair.
to see you. Thank you so much.
Too. Thanks.
On tomorrow's show, Hollywood royalty super